when I first started, people were just picking up cameras and making movies, not really counting the costs. And you could go to anybody that's trying to break in the industry and want to act, and they'd be in your film, just because they want to act, whether the movie was going to be a bad movie or not. Now it's not like that. I mean, filmmakers are smarter. Filmmakers are making great films with small budgets. And for me, that's a great thing because it's showing how much we've grown in the DMV. And so quality films are coming out with these little budgets that we have. We might have $10,000, $15,000 to make a film, and we'll make a complete feature-length film with that kind of money where, you go on the West Coast or some of these other places, they'll spend that in one night at a party. So we learning how to spend our money effectively and make quality films. And I believe the fact that we are starting to take ourselves more serious in this area is going to force the industry to start taking us serious.
We talked about this film. Why don't we start with kind of the build up to this moment, the films you worked on previously, kind of getting to this point where you're having a really big DC premiere, films potentially going to do some big things. How did, talk a little bit about that.
When I first started, I think like most people that try to break into the industry or have, dreams of becoming, whether it be behind the camera or in front of the camera, see their dreams realized, I think that's where I was. I was going the conventional route. I was trying to do festivals, and as a director, obviously I had dreams of getting that deal with some major distributor, that 3-picture deal. Your movie gets made and this gets a national theatrical release and it's everywhere. And that's how I started out with that in mind. But of course, people that's in the industry knows it doesn't quite work that way that easily. And so after being at it for a while, I was experiencing some success. I had some film festivals. Films got accepted in film festivals. I think I had a couple of films went straight to DVD and got released. But as I was going down that road, I found that there was a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure on me. It's that anxiety that's constantly over your head, on your shoulders, wearing you down. Is this the movie? Is this my break? Is this the chance that I've been waiting on? And I think it started to wear and tear on me to the point where, I was ready to walk away. It was during that time when I began to realize that, that my purpose was never to break into the industry, but to really help establish the industry in this area. And what happens is that over that course of time, when you're trying to break into the industry, you're building a body of work. But sometimes you discredit that body of work if you don't feel that it has received the accolades it should have received. But as I began to sit back, I began to see that each film, each project gave someone an opportunity to do something that they always loved to do. And so as I began to do that consistently over the course of time, then I began to see that, wow, lives is being changed, lives are being touched. So about the time that I realized that what my purpose was, it all began to come together. That the vision is to bring the industry to this area. There are people that are talented behind the camera, in front of the camera, who are not in a situation where they can move to the West Coast, move to New York, or move where the industry is quote unquote booming, but they want to express themselves. So after I realized that, that's when it's sort of interesting. It's like that pressure that I had, it left. That anxiety that I had, it left. Finding money wasn't as hard as it was, and so behind that, I think prior to that, there was a number of films, I can't remember them all, but after that, the first film that came out of that vision was the movie Torn. And then after that, I did Lorenzo and Monica, and after that, Dead Money. And all these films got picked up, got national distribution. They went straight to DVD. They were in Walmart and Redbox and Blockbuster and other outlets. And so for me, this was a sign that I was moving in the right direction. And so now the fourth film out of that installment is Six Hearts, One Beat, and that's pretty much what got me up to this point. Trey played in The Wire, he was more like a street thug. So a lot of times when you take on them parts, you get stereotyped. And I knew that he was trying to break out of that. I knew that there was a lot more to him than that. And I think a lot of films and roles he's taken has been based upon his character in The Wire, and he's just had to constantly relive that. I think with 6 Hearts, 1 Beat, it was an opportunity for him to break set, to get outside of it and get into a new environment and show people the depth that he has. And I think he was very successful with that, with the chemistry between Tatiana and Trey was so genuine that it was surprisingly genuine. I mean, I figured it was going to be good, but I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. You know, almost to the point where, you know, editing the film, their chemistry on 2 shots, their chemistry was so good that I wouldn't even cut to a close-up. I would just keep it on that 2 shot. But that speaks to the depth of Trey's professionalism and Tatiana's professionalism as actors.
Why don't you talk to me about some of the actors? Why don't you talk to me a little bit about Tatiana? How did that come about?
With Tatiana, I worked with her. She had a very small part in the film Dead Money. And so, and I promised her, you know, that I told her at that time I was impressed with her work, and that if something came up in the future, I would reach out to her. So when 6 Hearts, 1 Beat, the concept came along, I started talking to her about it on the phone, and just talking to her about ideas and about that character, if she thought she could pull it off, and to do some research on that particular character. I had one concern that Tatiana, you know, people believing that she had 4 kids, I thought might be a tough one to pull off. And, you know, she did her research, and I believe that when I watched the film, it never even crossed my mind. And I think that when people see the film, they're going to get into it so much, it's not going to cross their mind. And then a lot of times in the community, you see it a lot, actually. You'll see younger women who don't look like they should have as many kids as they have, and they might have 3 or 4 kids, but there's like, you know, how old are you? You know, and then they might be in their 20s and have 3 kids. I initially met Shaka on the set of Dead Money. He had a small role as an actor. And we connected there, and we stayed in touch. And so sometimes you meet people and you just kind of make a note in the back of your mind that I really like this person's chemistry. You know, I'm going to work with this person again. So I just kind of made a note at some point I would reach out to him. And I did. I reached out to him and his wife and Harborview Filmworks to partner with us in making this film. And I guess while I'm on that subject, 6 Hearts, 1 Beat, initially, you know, I wrote the script, I produced it, and I started out directing it. But as I opened up to letting other people become a part of this process, this product, 6 Hearts, 1 Beat, is basically a product of a group of great minds that came together to make it happen. Shaka came in as an assistant director, and watching him work with the actors was very natural. Maybe it has to do with the fact that he is an actor, so he knows how to talk to other actors. Me, I'm a director. You know, I don't consider myself an actor, so I have to try to relay the best way I can what I expect out of an actor. But for Shaka, it was very natural. It was so natural, it was amazingly natural, to the point where as I had to take on other responsibilities, he began to take on that responsibility more. The actors subconsciously began to look to him for direction, look to him for approval, and it just flowed in that direction. And sometimes the process of filmmaking is so organic that you have to, in order for that film to breathe and come alive, you have to have the ability to go with that flow. You know, and I didn't have a problem with that, and it evolved to the point where Shaka now has the credit as a director, because that's what he did. You know, now I'm co-director. So I think it was a growing experience for me, because being a filmmaker, you know, I think naturally we're controlling of our product because we know what we want to happen. And I think sometimes it's a challenge to give up that control. You know, but I think that for the sake of the film, for any film to breathe and come alive, that as a producer, director, or whatever your position is, you have to be willing to open up your mind and let other people come in and give more input for that film to come alive. And so I think 6 Hearts, 1 Beat is a lot better than what it would have been, you know, by opening up and allowing more people to become part of that process. These kids were very professional. They worked hard. They came on the set prepared. Some cases, they were more prepared than some of the actors that had more experience, you know, and they made the job, you know, very easy, you know. It was phenomenal experience. I really hope that behind this film, that the more doors open for them to get more opportunities. The movie's going to play on the screen, and that's going to be, you know, a beautiful event within itself. But I think so many people's dreams are being realized, which sort of takes it down the path of what my vision has been, is to be a vessel to help establish the industry in this area, to give people that opportunity where they can, you know, see their dreams realized. And so for me, the best part of that night is going to be actually watching everybody around me, you know, lavish and enjoy what's happening, because I'm going to realize that I was a part of helping them realize their dreams.